Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Katie. Today I'm going to be showing you this little game called Moirai. It's quite a small lo-fi little game, but it has a pretty interesting twist at the end, and the only way I can think of to describe this game is that it takes about 10 minutes to play, but a bit longer than that for it to actually end. And you'll see what I mean once we play through, so let's play. So here we are in a little village. It's a very tiny little village. I feel quite boxed in, and I like that because it really adds to a kind of claustrophobia of the scene. So let's talk to the villagers. Did you hear about the boy? Julia lost her son in the cave shortly after her husband died. Poor Julia. So already we're not off to a good start. People are scared. Well, maybe it's not this little girl. Alright, what does the priest have to say? She hasn't been seen all day. He imagines Julia's grieving. Should I visit her? Yes, I shall. Let's see what house she's in. Is it this one? I don't think that's a guy called Julia. Just a chef. I do like how lo-fi these little houses are. This is essentially just a room with a bed and bookcases painted onto the wall. It's quite cutely done, I think. Alright, check the next house. Hello, little boy. Gold in a cave and a ghost. Interesting, the plot thickens. My uncle and dad are out chopping wood. Alright, these villagers have cute little stories to tell, don't they? Right, final house in the village. Will it contain Julia? No. There is a picture on the shelf of a wife, husband, and a young boy. I wonder where they are. I'll presume this is Julia, her missing husband, and her son. Well, let's chat to the priest. Alright, let's go find Julia. Again, this game's lo-fi, but there's some cute details, such as sheep. And I do like that for a game that, you know, is quite lo-fi, there's actually quite a number of sheep noises. The developers put effort into this. Alright, the barn door's locked, so clearly not supposed to go that way. Okay, there's a guy here who looks like a very large gnome. My brother and I were chopping wood when we heard moans coming from the cave. So I assume this is either the father or the uncle of the little girl back in the village. Let's take his lantern and head into this cave, which I'm sure will not be creepy at all. It's another gnome. I have now been equipped with a knife. So, as you can hear from the music, the tone has changed quite dramatically upon entering this cave. And there are 3 paths here. Let's go this way first. So we're in a chamber with, there appears to be a pedestal or something in the corner, and all these markings on the wall, which look kind of like the markings that prisoners do in prison cells. That's a bit worrying. Well, let's see what's going on here. These tools have been used to mark carvings onto the wall. Alright, what's this? Look at book. There is a list of farmers' names inside. Listerine, 2 Louises. Terror, how eerie. I wonder who named their child Listerine. Well, let's backtrack and get to the beginning of the cave. God, am I heading the right way? Alright, let's head this way now. So, no signs of Julia yet. Oh my god, that's not a very good sign, is it? A farmer approaches. Alright, I can ask him questions. So, why do you have blood on her overalls? I killed a woman for her own good. Well, why do you have a knife? For protection. I heard moans, what have you done? I killed a woman in pain. Alright, I have 2 options here. I think I will let him pass. He seemed innocent enough. Didn't really give me that many details, so I don't really feel right just killing him. So, alright, let him go. Goodbye, Mr. Man. Yep, he's gone. Well, let's see what he was doing down here. There's a rat in the corner. Well, that's not a good sight. Julia, I presume? I came here to end my life. My name is Julia, and I want to see my child and husband in heaven. My husband was a miner. He buried the golden nugget to spite me, and then he disappeared. Then one day my son wandered into the cave. He wanted to find his daddy to make everything better, but he never came out. Will we help Julia? Will we help her end her life? I don't feel right killing this woman. Let's get help. Woman, did you just spurt blood at me? It seems rather spiteful, doesn't it? Well, okay, well, I've decided to be a nice person, so let's go get help. If I ever get out of this cave. It's another farmer. A farmer approaches. Why do I have blood on my overalls? For the first time, I can type something in game. This is interesting. Why do I have blood on my overalls? A dying woman spurted blood at me. Why do I have a knife? It's interesting that he's asking all of the same questions that I asked the previous farmer, isn't it? I'm going to get a woman help. Let me see what will happen to you. And this is where the story and the game ends, at least for now. It is up to the next player of this game to choose your fate, just as you chose for the previous player. So, let's enter my name, Katie, and my email address. I will be emailed about my fate. Thank you for playing. So, yeah, that's actually quite interesting, isn't it? So, now that we know the twist, now that we know that it is actually up to the next person who plays this game to decide how my game ends. Let's go through it again and just take a look at some of the imagery we see here. So I'm just going to skip the town part now. Head straight back to the mine. Sup man, just going to take your lantern if you don't mind. Alright, so firstly I want to show you something that I did not show you in the first playthrough. So in the previous playthrough we went down this corridor first, and then this one where I found Julia. There's a third one here, so we'll go down here. So now that we know the story of what happened to Julia's son and husband, what we find here is actually quite symbolic. So here is what appears to be a ribcage. The bones look as if they're a child's. And over here a hole in the wall. I can see something shiny, it's just out of reach. So I believe that this is Julia's child, or what's left of him, as well as the golden nugget that Julia was talking about, the one that her husband found and then buried to spite her. So he doesn't sound the nicest husband on earth. Heading back into the other room, I would just like to go through again what's in there, especially now that we know what happens at the end of this game. So, interestingly enough, all of the markings on the wall represent the number of players who have been through this game before, and I guess experienced their own fates. So I'm not actually willing to count that, it's probably in the thousands. And over here, this book on the stand. The previous farmers, they're not just random names. Someone actually entered the name Listerine, these are actual players. So yeah, as you can see, now my name is there, alongside Listerine and Louisa. How eerie. So yeah, that's Moirai. It's really a fascinating little game. And you have to admit, it's a pretty big idea for, you know, quite a lo-fi game. It's a really cute little experiment. And yeah, you should definitely give this a try, because now, as you know, you don't know how this is going to end for you. So yeah, I'll pop a link to the game in the comments of this video, and you should definitely give it a try. Feel free to comment and let me know how your game ended. Again, thank you for joining me.